Hi everybody, this is Mayor Schick. I am doing a Facebook Live tonight because I have gotten a lot of emails and questions about something that is coming up on the agenda and has been on our agenda for the last couple months. And some of the emails and questions that I got about it didn't struck me as maybe there was like some misinformation out there. So I am live in my own kitchen tonight. I have allergies, so I apologize if I sound a little stuffy. I've been enjoying this beautiful weather, but my allergies do not. I also have with me tonight my hermit crab. So he's going to be my audience in case you guys don't tune in. You know, I'm just going to talk to my hermit crab. Anyway, he doesn't have a name yet, so if you want to name the hermit crab, you can leave it in the comments. All right. I titled this thing Trash Talk because the topic in my emails is about trash. So if you don't know, it's been on the council work sessions and agenda for the last 3 meetings about a proposal for a trash collection fee, what is called an enterprise fund. It is a way of allocating municipal funds directly towards an enterprise, like the trash truck would be, and separating those funds from the general fund. I'll get into maybe a little bit more if you guys have questions and you leave them in the comments. I'm on my phone doing this, so hopefully I can see them. Hopefully they pop up and then I can answer any of them. But I want to go ahead and get to some of the questions that have already been asked. So the first one is, trash is not a part of our water sewer bill. So that's a common misconception. A lot of times people think that the water sewer bill includes your trash collection fee. That is not true. So, okay. So the trash fee is actually part of your part of what we call the general fund, which is funded by taxes, real estate, business, anything like that, right? And it kind of all goes into one big pot, and it all is part of our municipal services fees. Trash, though, is an enterprise in the sense that it can be self-sustaining. You can charge a fee, and it can recuperate itself and pay for its own needs. And so it's not part of your water sewer bill. It is just part of our general fund revenue. So the next part I had was, if this is part of our real estate taxes and personal property taxes, they will now increase. That's not true. Personal property and real estate tax, this is not an increase to personal property or real estate tax. This is its own fund separately. It would be billed on that same billing cycle as the water sewer fund because we don't want to add any more additional costs, and we already do that billing cycle. It's $10 a month is what the proposal is. We have not voted on this yet, so I don't want to say that any minds are made up about it, but we've been kind of talking through these issues. So the next is there a shortfall? I can't believe it. So I will say that the trash right now in our general fund is allocated, it has $163,000 a year allocated to trash. But it's not really clear that it doesn't actually cost more than that. Part of it is that it is part of just public works, general public works. And so guys are pulled from all directions and work it. That wouldn't change functionally, except for the fact that we would then create exact costs associated with the trash truck and then pay them exactly through the user fee. This requires new refuge trucks, new garbage trucks. Nope, it does not. Our trucks that we currently have the capability of lifting what we call a toter, which is a part of the program. So the program would be that everybody gets a trash truck. Or I'm sorry, everybody gets a trash truck. That'd be crazy. Everybody gets a garbage can called a toter, which hooks to the hydraulic lift part of the back of the garbage can, of the back of the truck. And our trucks currently have this capability. Right now, a lot of residents don't have garbage cans that hook to the back of the truck. And so they would have, the guys have to physically lift those garbage cans, and oftentimes they are way over a weight limit in which somebody should be reasonably lifting the can. So this kind of takes off the strain of our workforce of having to lift cans that they really shouldn't be lifting in the first place. The toter company, I'm going down the list of questions. The toter company is lobbying for this purchase. That the concept that we would implement these cans because the company that makes the trash can called a toter is lobbying for it is false. I don't, if that's true, I don't know anything about it. The public works employees are the ones who have been asking for us to implement this fund for quite some time. I know that ever since I visited Public Works in the very beginning, that I was approached by them about this concept, and that we've asked them to bring it forward to consider. And so now, you know, that's what they're doing. Older residents can't push them to the curb. So we accommodate a lot of our older residents already. There are a lot of residents who can't get their current cans to the curb either. And there's a process for that. You can request that the trash guys, you know, help you out with that, and through the town manager's office. And honestly, they do. They do a wonderful job. And I just want to say thank you to our garbologists out there. Thank you to them for all that they do and for going above and beyond oftentimes at residents' houses. Okay, Airbnb rentals. Okay, this is a good one. Airbnb rentals create more trash than homeowners because of added guests. How can we recover these costs for the added burden on our infrastructure? And then the person suggested them paying a business fee. I think that's a really good suggestion, something I will bring up at the council meeting, that maybe somebody who's running an Airbnb should be paying the business fee for trash pickup instead of the regular resident fee. I think that was a really good point to make. Our Airbnbs, just so you know, if you have an Airbnb and you're listening, you have to get a business license. This was implemented last year. Airbnbs should have a business license, and they should be paying lodging tax. And if they are not doing either of those things, you can report them to finance. So let's get our Airbnbs on doing their share. Town finances, when are they audited and where can I find them? Our town finances are audited every year, every single year, and you can find them online or you can request them from the clerk. Heather Oliver is the clerk of the town, and she can send them to you. The audits are also all online, all on the website. What concessions were given to developers? Not really sure about this question, but I'm just trying to answer all the questions that I've had. I think if you're asking about the Dotson development, there's no concession in trash for that, or utility hookups. I think my dog wants to go out. Hold on, I'm gonna let her out real quick. Okay. So, where do we store the container? The containers can be either 64-gallon or 96-gallon toters. I have 2 toters right now myself, and they go kind of next to a shed, behind a shed I have. This would replace those toters, so I would just store them where I have them. I think that's kind of a site-specific question, because maybe it depends on your house on where you would store your toter. The one thing that I think might be a positive about this is that the 1 container probably is going to be enough for me, and I can stop having to haul 2 trash cans to the curb, which I will enjoy, because sometimes that's kind of difficult. It's pretty funny to watch me do it in the morning. Can residents opt out for private collection? So right now the proposal, and like I said, we have not voted on this, the proposal for the trash collection would not be an opt-out for it, and The Director of Public Works kind of goes in why that is in her presentation. So I encourage you, if you have a lot more specific questions, to watch that presentation, which is online on our websites, on YouTube. And the presentation starts at our last work session, and it starts at an hour and 30 minutes into the meeting. So if you just want to skip ahead right to that section and watch her presentation, I encourage you to do so. So right now there's no opt-out for it. And that's mainly because, obviously the point is to make this a sustainable fund. So if you have people opt out, then all of a sudden you can't anticipate the revenue for the cost of the program. Has there been a cost-benefit analysis of performing this service in-house versus outsourcing? So yes, there has been an analysis of that. I just pulled La Plata's. They do the same program as an enterprise fund. Their service fees are almost over $20 an hour, or a month. We're talking about $10 a month, and I think that's it. It's not going to be more than that, but they do, I think it's $60-some a quarter, $68 a quarter in La Plata. When we look at private services, then the private services are all higher than $10 a month. There isn't any private service that's under $10 a month. In fact, most of them start at $17 or $18 a month and go up from there. So really can't get it done any cheaper than we can do it in-house. How will yard waste be affected? Yard debris. So it's yard debris pickup week this week. If you don't know, you can put your yard debris by the curb and Public Works guys will pick it up. And it's like every 2 months, I think, that we have yard debris pickup. It's announced on the website too. If you ever have a question about when yard debris is, this isn't going to affect yard debris pickup at all. We're going to continue that service. Help define the problem. So I think the first problem that was associated with this proposal from the Public Works employees was safety. That they are picking up things that they really shouldn't be. I personally ran the trash truck, a little while back, and we were short-staffed that day, and I physically ran it. Like, I picked up everybody's trash can all the way down the meadows. I did Friday's route, so if you're on Fridays, I've seen your trash can. I don't know. But some of them are really heavy, and they're not, and a lot of them are broken. They have handles missing, they have a wheel missing, they're all cracked on the side. No offense to you guys, I mean, I get it. Like, you got a trash can, it's not top priority sometimes on having the nicest one. But the toters that we would get with the program that everybody would get are uniform, they're much more durable, and they hook to this hydraulic lift where the guys don't have to lift them. And so the biggest part of this was just trying to keep our guys safe. And that was their main concern was, we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be picking up, 60 pounds, 80 pounds, 100 some pounds in a trash can and literally like hoisting it above our heads. They do it oftentimes on their own manpower by themselves. Sometimes they assist each other. And, doing it myself, it's, easily you could throw your back out. So main part is safety. The next part, Julie's joining us too. The next part is sustainability of our capital needs. So when we talk about how to, or what a capital need is, capital needs are big items that we have to purchase or maintain or improve in the town. And how are we going to pay for them and get somewhere on that? And sometimes those items just haven't been paid for a really, really long time. And I think that people do understand and see that because you've seen some things kind of go to a bad state and because it hasn't been maintained. We have a lot of equipment like that was not being maintained for a long time, and we were kind of working on that duct tape like fashion stuff. And we really need to create, if we create an enterprise fund out of the trash truck, it becomes a sustainable fund. And so we are getting ahead of when we have to buy a new trash truck, which only really have a lifespan of like 5 to 7 years, because they run every single day and they stop and start and stop and start and stop and start, and you know, they're hauling massive stuff. You know, we need to stay ahead of that capital need. And in order to get other things in town accomplished, we kind of need to make sure this trash part doesn't become always an emergency patch financial issue. And another part of this is budget delineation. So when you create an enterprise fund, like water and sewer funds can only go to water and sewer. And specifically, your water payment, which you may not realize, it's actually, there's a breakout. There's a breakout for water and there's a breakout for sewer. Your water payment goes to maintaining our municipal water system, clean water, drinking water to your home. And the sewer fund goes to maintaining our sewer system, which processes, you know, all your, whatever term you want to use for that. All the stuff that goes down your toilet. So, and your sinks. And so this trash fund would fund the trash enterprise, and those funds would not intermingle then and into general funds. That's the concept, is it creates it self-sustaining. It's also a not-for-profit thing, right? So we don't make profit off of water, we don't make profit off of sewer. We obviously want to be in the green and not the red, but you know, we want to make sure they're paid for, but we're not like a private industry where we're, you know, trying to make profit in those sectors. The next point I want to make about defining the problem is wages. So, and I just, again, want to say a kudos out to our public works employees, who many of which are working at minimum wage or, you know, below what I think anybody would consider a cost of living wage here in town. Oftentimes these employees also do actually live in town or immediately around town. These are guys that, and girls, both, that are participating in town in more capacities than just their job, just their 9 to 5, or in the trash business, actually, I think it starts at 7. And that we also are going to have to meet the minimum wage mandated by the state coming up, and we want to make sure that these guys get paid appropriately. And so we would need a sustainable fund in order to ensure that. And the last part of this was just, like I kind of mentioned before, was durability. Making these things hold up, make sure that they last, and that, you know, that they can handle the capacity and the need that they're meant for, which is trash. All right, what kind of research was involved in this? Public Works research involved the trash tonnage. Trash truck driver Bill, I don't know if you have seen him or he's honked at you. We have a very wonderful trash truck driver named Bill, who really goes above and beyond in a lot of ways. And he has been calculating both in-season and off-season trash. One of the important things that I learned from Bill's report in that was that our off-season trash isn't necessarily lower than our in-season trash. That they're still processing the very similar amount of tonnage. That he also wrote down the number of toters, these particular kind of trash cans that we have in town, and the number of non-toters. He literally tick marked every single person's trash can. So to represent how many of these cans that are not toters that these guys are picking up. Fees of the private service versus other municipality fees. So that was assessed. Lots of other fee schedules were brought to us. Again, the proposal that our staff has brought is been $10 a month, which is the lowest of all of the municipalities that fees that I've seen so far. And then also of private service. So like we said, this cost benefit analysis, is it better to do it in-house or, outsource it? Also, the cost of the toters has been analyzed. There's an upfront cost to kind of like a hurdle to get over where the fund isn't sustainable the first year because you have to buy all of the toters. But once you get it going and running, then it becomes sustainable. And the annual cost of the truck. I mean, right now we have a backup trash truck that needs to be serviced, and servicing that truck is very expensive. And basically, so far, we haven't been anticipating some of that service cost. So when you say, like, is the trash budget item underwater or something, I mean, sure, if that secondary truck breaks down and all of a sudden there's a $40,000 capital cost to fixing it, then all of a sudden, yeah, it is. And so, we really should kind of have a rainy day fund associated with that equipment. There have been 3 presentations so far about this, and I'm not really answering all the questions. I know there's so many more questions, and we still haven't voted yet on this. I'm just trying to get ahead of some of the feedback that has come to my inbox so that I can answer as many people's questions in one step instead of 100 emails. One of the other very important questions that was asked was, what is the impact to the general fund, and what could these funds be freed up to do? I thought that was a very insightful question. It is, one of the things that always could be considered as a rate decrease if there is enough savings in that. I'm gonna be honest with you, we have over $10 million of needs in our capital improvement plan. So the great part about it is that hopefully we would be able to accomplish other things. And I want to highlight a few of what those are. The capital improvement plan is a separate budget. It's not our annual operating budget. It is needs that are bigger to overcome than we operate on an annual cycle. And there's a lot of things in there that I think you all ask for commonly. Sidewalk improvement is in it. Stormwater management is in it. Fixing the North Beach side, the erosion issue that we have there. There's equipment in it. Rehabbing the town pier. There is streetscaping Colonial Avenue. A lot of people want Colonial Avenue to get improved, and that is in the list. There is building a new police department and municipal center, which is a huge lift, and we are looking for ways to try to do that if it's feasible. And another part of it is grant matching. So we have been awarded a lot of grant money in the last couple years. I don't know if you've been paying attention to that, but it's been really good. But there are match requirements with these grants, and so you're leveraging sometimes millions of dollars on maybe $100,000. And so we still have to have the $100,000 to leverage to the $1 million thresholds. And if we're going to accomplish the bigger projects that we need to do around resiliency and shoreline and sidewalks and things like that, then we're going to need to go after federal and state funds, those grant opportunities. And so we're going to need a fund that helps us qualify for those things. So those are some of the examples. I want to point you to the strategic action plan on the website. If you don't know, the website is colonialbeachva.gov, and there is a strategic action plan in there, and it's got all of these little squares about all of these things that we're trying to get done and where they are. If they got done, they're like green, and they talk about, that they're done. If they're in the process, they're like yellow, and they talk about that we're working on it. And there's things that we haven't got to yet. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things we haven't got to yet. And so we're always trying to look ahead and prepare for the future. I think as we are growing in the town, we need to be preparing even more so now for our future than ever before. And, that's exciting, but it's also very important that we create financial policies in place now that don't put us underwater later. And so I think we need to consider all options in that. We've refinanced our debt. I'm just going to highlight a couple of things. when interest rates dropped really, really low, the town refinanced all of our debt that could be refinanced during that time. And so that's been a great savings, and we have an investment account for the first time that I know of ever. So that's good, but it's still, to get to the capital needs, we have to be really long-term planning. I mean, we have to be looking like way, way ahead sometimes. So I hope that answered some of the trash questions. Yes, this is called trash talk. We could trash talk about other things. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to trash talk about other things. Opt-out is a wording published prior to the meeting, shown in red typeface. Yeah, I do. They are not, the staff is not recommending the opt-out. My kids love that this is called trash talk. Awesome. Good. Good. Thank you, Jackie. Let's get the word out. People on Next are claiming that trash costs are already in our taxes. Not sure. Is that true? So, let me explain that, I guess, as best I can. Yes and no. The trash budget is in the general funds, so we are paying it out of general fund. And real estate and personal property tax fund the general fund. So the simple answer to that question is, you are paying for anything, any kinds of things that are in the general fund, and the trash is one of them. But they're not directly linked. So it could be that business taxes are paying the trash fund, or that any number of other revenue items that we have, parking fees, for example, paying the trash fund. I mean, they're not directly connected like in that way. So I don't know if that helps make sense of that thing. Now, in this case, with an enterprise fund, which is really just a budgeting tool, a finance tool, the trash fund would go directly to the trash service. And there would be no intermingling anymore of that kind of stuff. Are there any other questions of anybody that's tuned in so far? I don't want to misquote anything from the presentation, since I didn't give the presentation. Our Public Works Director, Diane, did. So I really just encourage you to go to the YouTube video at the last March work session and watch her presentation. It's an hour and 30 minutes in, and it's approximately 30 minutes long. And I think you'll get a lot more questions. She talks about how to deal with the trash at multifamily units, like the condos and things like that. And she just goes into a lot more detail than this does. But I wanted to get ahead of some of the questions that I had and see if you guys had anything else. We still don't have a name for my hermit crab. So if you want to name him, you let me know about that. He does have a Batman shell right now. Fittingly, I know. My name's Robin. So, anyway, okay, I just wanted to give some time for anybody else. David has a not related question. Let's see here. Can the Porta-Johns be rehabbed or replaced during the off season by the beach? Okay, I'll look into that. The Porta-Johns, which ones, David? We have a lot of beach. David, send me an email. I'll figure out which ones you're talking about. Look, he's waking up. He's gonna crawl for you guys. All right. He's going to the camera. He really wanted to be on video, not me. So, all right. Yes, I'm happy to. Okay, now he's going for it. Happy to answer any other questions. Okay, by the main beach. Okay, I'll look into that, David, for you. Yeah, if you have any other questions, you're still welcome to email me. I don't want to, not encourage that. Please contact me, reach out, and I'll get back to you. I just wanted to go ahead and try to get ahead some things. This will be on the March regular meeting for public comment. So you're welcome to come then and watch the video of Diane from our last work session, who can probably answer more questions than I did on this Facebook Live. Oh, Nick. Okay, yeah, Father Nick. Maybe that is what he means. I'm gonna go check it out. I was just walking the boardwalk on Sunday. It was so pretty out. Oh my gosh, it was so nice. Can't wait for warmer weather. But I did not go in the Porta Johns, so I will check those out. All right, thanks for joining me for Trash Talk. And we'll talk more trash at the next meeting. All right, hope to see you there. Bye.